Cool. So, got a new episode. Got a new name. And got a new layout. And I've also got a co-host with me. You're no longer a guest today, so you're my co-host. So,
I am.
Charlotte's back. Yeah. So with the episodes, as you can see, I've changed the name to Tom About Town.
You got your name wrong already.
I got my name wrong already. Yeah, I've changed it. I've changed the layout in here as well. Just I think it looks a little bit nicer, a little bit more appealing.
Yeah, it is like fancy stuff, so I want to show it off.
Yeah, exactly.
I love the new name, Tom About Town.
Yeah.
It's something I've always like called you, isn't it?
Yeah, you've literally called me it for years, so it kind of just always fits into it. It's like, obviously, I've changed the name. I don't know, it was getting a bit of a bad rep, wasn't it? It was just kind of like...
It looked a bit scary.
And everyone I was kind of speaking to and messaging was just a bit like, I don't really want to like...
Don't want no dramas.
Yeah, I don't want no dramas. And like, obviously we live in a small town, don't we? So like, shit gets about really fucking quickly.
Yeah,
like,
everybody
really
knows everybody. Like, yeah, so... Yeah, it just... But when you first started it, though, it was going to be completely different, and it's just evolved over the past, like, each episode you've just realised.
Yeah, every episode,
what you wanted to actually do with it.
Yeah, exactly. It took me like sort of like 5 or 6 episodes before I kind of got into like the flow of what I wanted to do, and then I kind of realised that the name didn't really fit with like the aesthetic of like and like the direction of like where I wanted to take it. So it was kind of just a bit like
being friendly and cheery and meeting everyone and wanting to let their story.
Yeah, like jump in doing what they're doing, and then it's like customer disservice.
And it looked like the explicit lyrics badge.
Yeah, it did, didn't it? Just a little thing.
Yeah, so it looks like naughty. Like,
yeah, but even like
looks scary and intimidating.
I was gonna say, even there, to be fair though, like on YouTube and stuff as well though, like it was gonna be a bit of a problem. Do you know what I mean? Because it was like it seemed explicit, like you said, so it was gonna be like harder and harder for me to like put stuff out in it to kind of get picked up or get as like many plays or views as I'd like.
It just didn't seem like you as well.
No.
It seemed like you, like maybe 15 years ago when you were Angry Tom.
Yeah, when I was Angry Tom, but I'm not Angry Tom anymore. I'm just madly grumpy Tom. I'm not like Angry Tom anymore. But yeah, obviously I've got a new design, but unfortunately I've also got had an accident with the clippers, didn't I? So
yeah, so this isn't an accurate representation right now, but it will be in like a few weeks.
If you're watching it, I might actually just change it every time I get a new haircut, a new like beard style. I'll just do a different logo.
Oh, you should do it
instead. But
so you need to get rid of this. Whoops. You need to get rid of the hair.
You need to get rid of the hair and the beard and just keep the moustache. But
no, because you know you're going to look like that in like a few over winter anyway.
I know, yeah. give me a week or two and I'll be back. But
so how's it feel having a tash? How many times have you had a tash in your life?
Twice.
Is that it?
Maybe 3 times.
I think 3.
3, maybe.
So you had one when we were in Maxwell Street.
Yeah, but that was very, very short-lived.
And then I feel like you had one when we were in Ayrton Street.
Yeah, it was a couple of months ago I had one.
And then it's this one.
Yeah.
They're all the tashes, I remember.
But yeah,
just changing the subject there.
Yeah, I am just changing the subject along and talk about my tash and my Ned Flanders tash. But with the whole change of it, kind of the reason why I'm putting this podcast out, obviously, it's a bit just of like an impromptu, like improv episode. Unfortunately, once again, like everything with like the past 6-7 episodes, every single episode I've had something go wrong. Like you've been coming on as like my producer and doing like behind the scenes stuff for me, haven't you? And every single time it's like either something's overheated or like something's formatted when I didn't want it to,
or something's unplugged and we didn't realise.
Yeah, or something's just half hanging out and because the cables haven't been long enough. So I have a bit of like an overhaul with everything. Like got some actual professional lapel microphones.
They're so fancy. I can't wait to borrow them.
Borrow them.
But
yeah, so like got that, connects to just a single camera connects to extension cable, like everything integrates all in one. I don't have to have a laptop. That's, even though it's an expensive nice Mac, like it still just overheats like mad. Like obviously that's why we're gonna have like an external hard drive. I I was supposed to have a Signals episode out today, and yeah,
It's devastating. I saw it being edited.
it was class.
Really good.
Absolutely class. Like, I've got the video footage of it, but once again, even while I was there, that was a problem, wasn't it? Like, you weren't there for that one. You were in Nice at the time, and
Sunning it up.
yeah, you were sunning it up. And even then, like I said, like, the connection wasn't in properly, so like the camera died before I could do anything with it. And like, so we got about half an hour conversation, the camera cut out, then I had the audio for 10 minutes, and then I managed to get the video back on. And then once again, like I said, I was editing it last week, and I've deleted the audio files, trying to clean up the laptop so it didn't overheat. And yeah, so that's no good. So yeah, I've just streamlined it a bit, but like, it's made it so much easier. Like literally just this little setup alone's been like massively
You've
easy.
started from like scratch, so you've got to go through these things to
Yeah.
learn and process.
Yeah,
isn't it?
exactly. You got to start from the bottom upwards. Do you know what I mean? And like, obviously, unfortunately, it's expensive. Like,
And there's no roadmap. There's no like
no,
how to podcast for dummies or anything.
no,
like
like
that,
there's
is
stuff on
there?
YouTube and there's things that you can get, but obviously, it's trying to find the right information for you. Do you know what I mean? Because like, I thought, like, you know, you look at certain review pages and stuff like that to do with microphones, and you're like, oh, these are good, and then you get them and they're actually trash. Like, and you've spent like 30-40 quid on something that you could have saved for a little bit and invested in something better. But that's just been the process, hasn't it? It's just been learning all the way
It's
along.
a lot of buy cheap, buy twice, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Just invest. Like,
But yeah, with that, like, one of the reasons why I'm putting this episode out is just, once again, it's kind of like, I wanted to put something out this week. I've got other stuff lined up. I've got people that I wanted to meet and stuff like that. And I was supposed to be interviewing last week. And then, unfortunately, this is another thing with this podcast. It's like, because I want to take it on the road, because I want to meet people, life gets in the way. Might do for me, might do for them. Like, it's just one of those things. And so, unfortunately, it becomes a little bit more difficult to kind of make it a more like weekly, got guests on, it's long format, I'm chatting for 2 hours, like, I want that JRE experience, you know what I mean? I want that Joe Rogan experience, but unfortunately it makes it very difficult. And obviously everyone's got like full-time jobs and stuff like that. They've got families, they've got commitments. So like, taking that amount of time away from someone when they're not getting paid to do it, or they're not getting any benefits from it, it kind of makes it a little bit more difficult at times. So
yeah, it's a lot to ask of someone, so you've got to respect the fact that if if other things come up, like family, you know, more pressing matters,
yeah, exactly.
it just is what it is.
It is what it is. That's the biggest thing from it, is it is what it is. So like, and I guess that is what it is with this podcast, is like, kind of come up with this new idea, and it's a little bit more like in theme with the Tom About Town. Like I said, you've called me it for years, haven't you? And like, me and you love going to new places. Like, we do on a week-to-week basis. We always have at least one day off a week where we'll go somewhere that we've ever been before, and we just like going for nice walks, or somewhere where I know there's somewhere to get a class coffee, do you know what I mean, or a little bite to eat somewhere, and we'll just like take a little pooch out. I can't show you, she's chilling on the sofa behind the camera, but
Yeah, she's behind the scenes.
yeah, she's been well behaved, so that's nice. But
Oh, she knows we're talking about her.
yeah, she's a bit now. But yeah, so like, the kind of the whole premise about the podcast now is just kind of, I don't know, I think I'm going to take it a little bit more like shorter format, a little bit more like vlog style, but you know, still kind of putting stuff out there each week that we go to places, and like, just use like the videography skills and stuff that I've been doing, and the editing skills that I've been learning and everything, just to kind of like gain a bit more knowledge on that side of it as well. Do you know what I mean? Because like, trying to also do something for 2 hours long and then also fit a lot of stuff that you want to put in, it becomes a full-time job. Like, and unfortunately, I'm not getting paid for this. Do you know what I mean?
No,
Like,
not at the moment.
not at the moment. I like,
Not at the
if
moment.
anyone knows any sponsors or fucking wants to sponsor me, that'd be absolutely class. Like, obviously, get in touch. Like, let's do something.
He loves t-shirts.
I love t-shirts, I love merch, I love free shit. So like, even
Love stickers.
yeah, like, even if it's like, you know, like, at the end of the day, like, well, there's things going on in my personal life, isn't there? Do you know what I mean? That like, I don't have a full-time wage coming in at the moment. Obviously, I've took a massive leap to do other things in my life, and we might get into that a little bit into the podcast, as to, if you know me, if you know my background, if you know where I've come from, and the whole coffee shop situation, then we might get into it, we might not. But like I said, it's expensive, and it becomes difficult to do when I've got like I'm trying to meet people in Newcastle. I want to go down to like Liverpool, Manchester. So that's going to be more petrol costs, like staying over places, like food, just parking, like getting fines when you by accident, like all of these things, like multiple times. Like I've only done like 6 or 7 episodes, and I've already got 2 parking fines in 2 different cities. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, so.
And me needing the car for my 6 o'clock clients.
you needing the car and stuff because we share a car. Like it becomes a little more difficult. So like basically the whole thing of it is it's going to be a little bit more like shorter format, maybe just sort of half an hour, 40 minutes. Me and you going places, just trying to like, at the end of the day, I've got 20 years experience in like hospitality. I've like managed my own coffee shop. Like I've worked in some unbelievable places in the Northeast, and like I'd like to think I know my shit. Do you know what I mean? It's as simple as that. Like, and I'm not trying to brag here, but I do. Like, I pride myself in that. So, and that's kind of the whole point of this, is going out, meeting people. But it doesn't have to be like a full day thing. It can just be a 10-minute conversation. Do you know what I mean? Like, take the gimbal with me. Like, we have a little chat, like at a coffee van for 10 minutes. Do you know what I mean? I just ask a daft few questions. I get a nice little B-roll of what they're doing in there, just to give everyone a representation of what they do, and then hopefully it might encourage other people to go there.
Do you feel like, because you've dedicated so much of your life to others in regards to your job, like, you know, mass catering, coffee shop, you know, everything like that, obviously it's always been really unsociable hours. And you've missed so much.
It's kind of like I want to meet people again and give back and kind of learn from like the community, but also like be a part of it again and not be so distant from it. Like I obviously, like I said, like part owned a coffee shop, and the unfortunate thing is like we'll speak more about this, and obviously this is why you're running. This is why like you're my like co-host now and like my producer and stuff. Is like we're both a bit spicy. Do you know what I mean?
And not
like,
spicy as in the...
Not like raunchy.
Neuro spicy.
No, like we're both a bit like neuro spicy. Do you know what I mean? Like that's like your whole...
That's
like,
my thing.
That's your thing. That's what you talk about. That's what you emphasize most, is helping people. And like that's kind of what I want to do, but with businesses. And this is the way that I've found that I can hopefully do it. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, there's people out there that have like 15, 20,000 people that on their vlogs on Instagram and stuff like that. And unfortunately for me, like I'm not putting anybody down here. I'm not here to call this out. It's not customer disservice anymore. But unfortunately, I don't feel like a lot of people have the experience that I have. Do you know what I mean? So they're not coming at it from a professional background. They're not coming at it from like knowing how a dish is made, like how something's done, the process of something, how speciality actually it is. And like where stuff's coming from, like the farms that it's coming from. Instead, they become very generic because it's more of a bit of everything. Do you know what I mean? Like you're happy to go to a dessert place, even though it's just a new place, but you know everything's bought in and it's not.
There's
great.
A lot of like. I feel too old for TikTok, but there's a lot of TikTok trends. I notice like places really follow, whether it goes or not.
Yeah, whether it's good or not, and like
they've just seen it on TikTok, it blew up, it went viral, and they're like, "Well, I'm gonna try that."
Yeah, exactly, and like that's kind of the thing I want to break a little bit. Do you know what I mean? It's like let's get the popular.
It doesn't work.
Exactly, no, it doesn't. So like, let's get the popularity back for the people that like are putting that hard work in and the graft in. And let's show their processes. Let's show why they're good at what they're doing. Like, but like I said, even if hopefully it's just going to become more of a like organic. Like me and you are going to towns. Like we might be taking the dog with us. Do you know what I mean? And we're just popping into places. Obviously, I'll give them a little message beforehand just to be like, "Hey, we're going to pop in like in a couple of days. Any chance we can have a little chat for 10 minutes and just let me know about yourself?" And that's it. Do you know what I mean? Like we sit down, we pay for our food, we tip them nicely if it's good, and then off we go. And like hopefully we're just bringing something to everybody's life that we get enjoyment from.
You know what we're becoming?
What?
Middle-aged influencers.
Yeah. Yeah. At least we don't look it though, so it's all right.
I know we don't.
So yeah, like I said, obviously supposed to have Signals one on. Don't have that one on. Got new equipment. Really happy about. Got a new idea. Got new branding. I think it all works. I don't think it's as difficult as the other idea was going to be. Do you know what I mean?
I think it's amazing. I've suggested this before you decided.
Yeah, she did,
I
to be
totally
fair.
suggested. And where Tom About Town comes from is, like, we've been together 15 years. And he just knows everybody, or everybody knows him. And I'm just, and it doesn't matter which town.
I was about to say, there's not been a single town we haven't been to where we've not been to somewhere random, like totally random. And this is abroad, this is everywhere, where someone's been like, oh, are you from so-and-so? Like, yeah. And they'll be like, oh, do you know that? And then, yeah. Like, hang on a second, that's my cousin. Oh, class. Or just, hey, there's Tom. Or just randomly getting shouted from across.
Knows here.
Tom.
Tom About Town, honestly. So I am over the moon. Because I feel partly responsible.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm,
I definitely think it definitely fits the aesthetic a little bit.
Give me some credit.
100%. You get the credit for this one. I did the branding, but she gave me the name. She gave me the idea, so
attention.
She's taking it. That's why she sat next to me. Yeah, obviously, I think it's like an amazing name, amazing idea. Like I said, obviously, hopefully, like I've got people that I was supposed to have on last week, and like I said, they've had to go on holiday and stuff like that, and we're going to reschedule. I'm going to have to reschedule Signals again because like Josh Neil Brown's was class, like it was absolutely mint, but unfortunately I just had too many problems, and I'd like to run it back with him and just do it properly, like.
And it wasn't rebranded then?
No, it wasn't rebranded then, and like this is nothing to do with Josh. Like I said, this is just reception from a lot of people. Like when you start chatting to them and then we start asking questions, I think at first they've kind of got a bit of a guard up, and then when they actually start asking the questions, they realise that it's got nothing to do with what the actual podcast kind of stood for, or what the first episode kind of put out to what every other episode's done.
Nothing to do with dissing customers.
Yeah, like
nothing to do with that.
Not a single one of them's really been about dissing customers. Like I've kind of tried to be like, oh, have you had any like mad experiences and stuff like that? But once again, nobody wants to talk about that. So like, I don't want to talk about that. I just want to talk about class bliss that I go to. So
yeah, people are looking forward. They don't want to look backwards.
No, exactly.
And that's really good.
And that's the same with me as well, though. Do you know what I mean? It's like I don't want to look backwards on anything. Like
you're not going that way.
No, exactly. So we'll get into it. So this is kind of like the format of the podcast moving forward. It's just going to be us chatting about places we've been. I'm going to stick in class little edits because like
we've been somewhere
today. I've been somewhere through last week when I came to pick you up from the airport, and we're going to go back next week, but we're going to talk about them in a bit. So today, what do?
We went to a classic car show in Redcar.
Yeah, it was a bit of a weird one though. It wasn't like as classic as I thought it was going to be. It was
I thought that, you know.
It was.
I got told I'm just old.
Well, I think it's. Yeah, I forget how old we are. But no, I think it was more of a like retro than a classic car show. So like classic would be more 1950s, 1960s.
It was classic and retro
and like
car
downwards,
show.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But it was more of a retro, so it was more of like your 80s, your 90s.
There was just quite a lot of cars I remember from my childhood, and I was like, damn, like, how old am I?
Basically, we're talking RS Cosworth, we're talking Peugeot 205 GTIs, we're talking like, yeah, it was
estate cars.
Yeah, like mad estate cars. There was some unbelievable ones there. Don't get me wrong, there was like some lovely MGs, there was like old school Morris Minors there, there was
loads of minis, Mini Coopers.
A lot of minis, there was some
quite a lot of Rolls Royces.
There was Corvettes, there was Mustangs.
What were those Mexican things? They were
the little Ford 500 Mexicans, yeah. So they're little rally cars. I might have butchered that, so don't hold me to that one. But I do like my cars, but I'm not massively into them because I can't afford them.
I only know what colours they are.
Yeah, that looks nice.
What car is it? What car have you got? It's black with a white lid.
But it was nice, like, to be honest, obviously the sun was out, it was lovely, which was a rare change in England, so that was really nice. It was really nice to be down near the coast. I was hoping that Headlands was going to be there, like just up on the Stray, but he's not there on a weekend.
What's Headlands?
It's a specialty coffee van on the top of the Stray, yeah.
He loves his coffee.
I do love my coffee. So I was hoping to go there, but he wasn't there, so we didn't get to go there beforehand. But yeah, it was just nice. Like it was a lot more packed than I thought it was going to be.
It was busy.
It was busy, but it was like more of like a family event, wasn't it? So it had like a big bouncy castle. It was like a £5 in per adult, and kids went in for free.
Yeah, there was a big. Did you see? We didn't go into it, but as we were going in, if you kept going like left, there was like a lot of vendors and
there was
things
like,
like that. Loads of food.
Yeah, stone baked pizza, burger place, like nice gourmet burger style burgers. I've seen the banners and stuff across the top.
And then there was just loads of space for like kids to run around away from the cars as well.
Yeah, away from the cars, but so like they weren't getting, no one was getting annoyed.
Everyone was out for the day. Dogs as well.
There's so many dogs. I'll put some videos of dogs in because like me and you absolutely love dogs.
I know. We didn't take ours because it would have been too hot for her.
Yeah,
she really struggles in the heat, and she just can't be bothered.
She's
like there'd be too much going on, too much stimulation. She likes a nice peaceful life. So she got a nice little walk before we went because we're good dog parents.
Yeah, exactly. But no, so we went there. It was just nice, like you say. It was a tenner in for both of us. Like loads of nice cars, and you can see why. You know, like why it costs to get in there. Like at the end of the day, like I think a bit of it goes back to charity and stuff like that as well. Like, so yeah, it was really quaint little place to go to. I've got like 160 videos or something on my phone, like from a gimbal.
Quite a few videos and pictures and stuff, which I've sent you over.
Have you?
I was trying to be the behind the scenes, capturing the creator at work,
doing stuff. But
how ADHD were you getting today though?
Oh no, it was a nightmare.
Just getting very impatient.
You're just trying to get that perfect shot though. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you're trying to get that low angle perfect shot of a car, and every single time, someone just comes and stands next to it, and you're just like, bruh.
Every time you were boiling up and having little tissy fits, I was just like. So I've got a background in photography, and I used to be a model for over 10 years. And you've just got to have patience.
And I work in kitchens and don't have patience.
You've just got to have patience. You've just got to wait for people to get out your shot. There's no point getting annoyed.
I would have been there for like 6 hours trying to get this shot. I want to be there so we can get back and do this episode and chat
and your blood sugars. You only had a banana.
Yeah, to be fair.
Didn't have any protein. There you go.
But yeah, so it was just a nice day, wasn't it? So we went out to there, got loads of nice car pictures, got loads of videos, loads of edits. Obviously,
bumped into some friends,
which was really nice. And obviously, we're going around these places as well because I'm trying to venture out on a. Obviously, I've done it. I've ran solo. I've said in another podcast before. You can go back and listen to it. It's when me chatting on my own and being all miserable and looking like I'm going to cry. And no, I'm not. No, I'm all happy and it is what it is. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, because I get sleep, I eat properly, I'm not stressed, and that's good for me. Simple as that's why I'm doing this. Do you know what I mean? It's good for her. That's why I'm doing this. It's not a shit on anybody else. It's not putting anybody in a difficult position. It's just the fact that my mental health wasn't in a good place, and I knew what I needed doing, and unfortunately, I had to take the route I did. But it's paying off. I'm thankful to say, do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, it'd be a bit shit if I'd kind of made any sort of mistake in that aspect, and I don't feel like I have, do you know what I mean? It's done nothing but serve a purpose that I needed it to, and taking a little bit of time to readjust and obviously focus on kind of the next thing and the next branch of what I want to do. I've always wanted to work for myself, do you know what I mean? And I thought owning a place and doing something was working for myself, and at the end of the day, it isn't, do you know what I mean? This is me doing this 100%. Obviously, you're with me, and that's it's a beautiful thing, because at the end of the day, you know what I'm like. I'm a social mess. I don't have that mask they wear. Do you know what I mean? I have the mask in the shop, but at the end of the day, I don't want it to be a mask. I want it to be me.
You're better at masking than you think, but you don't need to mask anymore.
No, exactly. I don't want it to be a mask, and I want it to be... You can
be your authentic self as long as you're not getting super
raggy.
pissy.
Getting raggy. So
make sure you're not hungry. So make sure you're eating regularly. Make sure you're drinking. Make sure you're getting good sleep, and hopefully you'll be able to keep that impulsive anger.
Yeah. Yeah.
Back. But it's all about your window of tolerance. So you've got to think, when you were at your lowest, your window of tolerance was that big, so it could take anything just to make you snap. And as your nervous system's getting more regulated, that window's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So you're having more tolerance.
Yeah, that's a big factor, isn't it? Obviously, you talk a lot about stuff to do with green space and kind of having time for regulation
for your nervous system.
For your nervous system, getting enough regulated sleep, eating properly, doing all these things. At the end of the day, I've got a life partner here who's also a personal trainer and a life coach, and I don't take her advice. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm so stubborn in my ways and like.
Yeah, but it was something how long I've been doing it? 3 years.
Yeah.
So I get it when I first started doing it because it was all new, and I might have got stuff wrong, and I did get stuff wrong, but the stuff that I got wrong was it wasn't my values. Like it wasn't what I wanted to help people with. It was like very generic, and it just didn't sit right because it was like there's so many reasons as to why people struggle with their weight other than they eat too much and they don't move enough. Like,
yeah. And mine was the opposite.
Mental health, honestly.
And mine was the opposite.
You moved too much
I
and
moved too
didn't
much
eat
and
enough.
didn't eat enough.
But that's running on stress hormones. But we're going on a side quest.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are. But at the end of the day, like I said, like I don't have. I had other stuff that I wanted to put out for this week anyway. I've got other stuff that I'm editing down. Like I said, I've got other people that I'm waiting to speak to and stuff like that, and I've got that in the pipework. But at the end of the day, this is what this kind of podcast is about. It's just talking about places, talking about our experiences, why we've got to where we are. Like,
did you have any more to add on that your tolerance is bigger now? Because then we went on a side quest.
Well, that's what I was going to say. It's like, well, I just wanted to finish off with that little point there. I was just saying about like this whole point of this podcast is just kind of like putting this out there for people and like giving people our experience, not just mine, but your experience. Do you know what I mean? Which kind of helps you exactly what you're saying there with like your window of tolerance. Like people might struggle to where they want to go, and especially in like the local area, it's like there's a lot of places people don't think that it's accessible or like, and it totally is. Do you know what I mean? Like there's some cool places around here, especially in like Stockton, Norton, Teesdale.
Do you mean like to like get out in nature? And
just
go
get
for
out
walks
in nature and go for walks and reset and experience things
yeah.
and just be one with yourself. Do you
we
know
do have
what I
some
mean?
little
Like,
treasure troves around here.
yeah, exactly. And like I said, that's kind of the whole point of this podcast is like, that's why I'm doing it. Do you know what I mean? So, and that's why I want other people to experience that. So
Definitely.
like, and like, hopefully they'll be part of my journey going along, seeing my regulation, seeing my happiness,
seeing your chili beans.
Yeah, seeing my chili beans and just being creative, like being enthusiastic, like wanting to meet people, like thriving in life. Do you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, like we all pigeonhole ourselves. Do you know what I mean? And we put ourselves in these little like comfortable places that we think are comfortable, and they're probably not. Do you know what I mean? They're probably worse for our health, like mental health, probably more detrimental to how we think as like
change
individuals.
Is scary. So even if you're in a bad place, to change, like sometimes people just want to stay in that bad place because it's safe.
Yeah, but it can lead you down a wrong path, and like.
Good.
I think every episode that I've put out so far, I've talked about change and adaptability and me being that type of person. And like, I think this is just evident with this podcast. That's the thing is, I don't want this to change. Like, I think this is it now. And I think this is it.
I'd leave you if you changed it.
All right, there we go. Then we've been together 16 years. So I think that's pretty cemented now.
It's 16 in
September. But like, but I think that's pretty cemented then. So
yeah, I'll leave him if he changes it.
Yeah, so we went there. I went to prison in Gateshead.
I thought you said prison.
I went to prison. We do live right next to a prison though. Like I can walk to the prison in 5 minutes, but I can't do anything there. So, but no, I went to Prison Coffee in Gateshead. So we'll get back on track. And I had just one of the most outstanding flat whites I've had in a very long time. And like, I love my coffee. You know how much I love my coffee. And the amount of flavour that I had from it, it was like, very porty, very red wine, very like dark chocolate, like hit all the notes. Like the espresso coming through that milk, like it.
So then you the stuff.
It was just incredible, and it's not what you'd expect. And like, so I've messaged the guy that owns it because I want to go do a video there because the aesthetic of it, like, it's in Saltwell Park in Gateshead, and we used to live next to there, like in two different places. 2 minutes down the road from it, if that 30 seconds walk down the road to the main entrance. And I swear to God, I wish this place was there when we lived there because I would have been his best customer by fucking far.
We probably wouldn't have left.
We wouldn't have left, you know, we wouldn't have left. I'd probably just be working in there instead because it just was like, oh man. But anyway, it's like an old bandstand sort of thing, isn't it? And what they've done is they've converted it and it's just got like a lovely little hatch, but then every window that's on there, like one window, you haven't seen it. I'm going to take her next week and we're going to go do a proper nice little video and I'm going to like hopefully chat to the guy for 10 minutes.
The weather keeps screwing our plans up.
Yeah, it just keeps screwing us over. But hopefully I'm going to chat to the guy for 10 minutes and just clip it in like the weeks after this podcast. Like I said, it's not going to be this long format thing anymore. I just want this nice opportunity for people to see people's faces, get a little glimpse of what they do, and hopefully go experience it themselves. Because that's what it's about, do you know what I mean? There's no point sitting here and thinking it's nice listening to me talking about it, but the whole point is you go. Do you know what I mean? Like look at my enthusiasm. I love coffee. Go. So yeah, it's in an old bandstand. Every window's got something different in it, but so it's got like one window's got all your coffee paraphernalia, another window's got all the coffee bags in it, but they're from like multiple roasteries. Another window's got like all organic like dog treats and like stuff for like your pets and things in, because there's loads, because dog parks and stuff around there.
I love that stuff. Anything organic and dog related.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it.
And then they've got another window where they've got like some fresh pastries and stuff that they make. Do you know what I mean? That they produce themselves, like some nice sausage rolls, like big fat thick sausage rolls though. So hopefully we're gonna get up there and like, you know, we'll get into that one a little bit more. And like I said, next week so I'll put some clips of that up and just kind of show everyone like what's kind of kicking
Look
around
forward to it.
Newcastle and Gateshead.
He's never shut up about it.
No, I haven't, honestly.
I have to see it.
I've only ever had one type of coffee like that, and unfortunately it was about 6 years ago, maybe 7 years ago, and it came from Yemen.
Yemen?
Yeah, and obviously
Who made it?
What roastery? It was when I worked at Humphreys.
Right.
So like they got it in as like like they only get so much of it, and you can only get so much of it, and obviously it's like a premium brand, like costs more for it, but it's just got that, like I said, that like fruity punchiness, that porty, that red wine like sort of hitter to it, where you're just like, wow, like it's not sour, it's not bitter, it's like it's. Then that comes from that's obviously from their extraction as well, though. Do you know what I mean? That's from their extraction. That comes from their brewing technique as well. So that's not just the coffee alone. Like, obviously, I'm going because I want to big them up. So yeah, there's, like I said, podcast is going to be me and you mooching about, talking about town, like me going to different places. It's not just going to be meeting people, though. We're going to go to random walks. Like I'm gonna sort of, maybe I'll put it up on like, get it on a Strava or something like that.
Micro hikes.
Yeah, micro hikes, and like maybe get it up on like a little Strava or something, so people can like pinpoint it and like get it on a little map, and like.
Can we get a drone?
We can get a little drone if you want to get a drone. It's more money, so we need more money, guys. We need money. If you want to invest and get me a drone, I'm gonna put out some t-shirts.
I thought you were going to say something about.
Oh, tats, no.
We've had a private little joke about.
Yeah.
We'll not mention that.
Yeah. Anyway,
I'd do anything.
But yeah, it's just going to be going about different places. Like obviously, we've recently moved to Norton. Norton's a lovely little sort of village town. Like there's a few little quaint places. Like it might not even be going in places and trying stuff. It might, like I said, just be going on a nice little duck pond with the dog and just kind of showing you like awesome. Like I like to go sort of like gill scrambling through like urban places, don't I? Very derelict urban places that are like.
I just love a walk up the Norton High Street. There's just so many different amazing buildings.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, so much. Love old architecture.
Yeah. And then hopefully like once or twice a month, like it happens when it happens. It is what it is, but hopefully I'll have like 1 or 2 a month that'll come out that a little bit more long format. Like I said, I'll have people that I know. It's not even going to be people that have like necessarily like I said, loads of followers and like a big following on Instagram. It's just cool people that do some cool shit. Do you know what I mean? That I know from like around the area, from like the northeast, like from people down like West Midlands way, whatever, well, northwest. Do you know what I mean? But then hopefully, if like I'm going to put it out there, I'm going to be messaging like bigger people. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to be cheeky. I'm going to be a chancer. It's what I've always done. Like my nana always said, if you don't ask, you don't get. Do you know what I mean? Shy bands getting out. So like, you know, I'm going to be putting it out there. I'm going to be messaging some comedians that I think would be absolutely class that I know touring up in the northeast. Like I'm just going to put it out. I'm going to have to put it out there. Do you know what I mean? Once again, if you don't ask, you don't get. So, yeah, and we'll see where it goes with it. Like, simple as. Like, I'm not putting any pressure on it, but I am going to put one out each week. It is going to be going to cool, daft little places. I'm going to stick a little vlog thing out. So, like, I want people to go, like, follow the Instagram. Like, I'm going to make a daft little Twitter. I'm not really big into Twitter, but it is what it is. Like,
I'll never call it its new name.
oh, yeah, X. I'll probably make a TikTok. Once again, I'm not a massive TikTok
it's just
user,
so
but
loud when
I
you
know.
open it.
Where to neurodivergent for it. It's like,
You know, if you lose your phone, and I'll ring it, but there's no point. It's on silent. Will you not hear it vibrate? No, it doesn't vibrate either. It literally does not make a sound.
But yeah, so yeah, obviously I need to reschedule with Signals. Really do. Because once again, that was a mint podcast. I was supposed to have Rick last week, like Rick Baker, talking about his brands and jiu-jitsu and places and things that he does, and kind of maybe helping me a little bit in this like podcast journey, because like this is what he does, like goes about places, does vlogs, like once again chatting to people, getting to know people, learn about but obviously is more specialised into jiu-jitsu. It'd be nice to have Harry and George on again, like chatting individually, get to know them a little bit more about them, not necessarily maybe fighting, do you know what I mean? Maybe we just talk about some random shit, do you know what I mean? Because like at the end of the day, it's fun. Maybe it's like I meet up with people like that and we go for a coffee somewhere, do you know what I mean? And we chat in a random fucking coffee shop. I don't know.
Not like comedians in cars.
Yeah, comedians in cars getting coffee. But yeah, it might be like something stupid like that, do you know what I mean? And but once again, there's loads of like people that I know, like illustrators, artists, photographers, like people that run events, like people that run breweries, like everything. Do you know what I mean? Not just restaurants. Like there's people that I know that are other professional fighters. There's just so many people that I want to chat to with it. So it's like
so many interesting people.
There's like your friends and stuff as well. Do you know what I mean? That have got crazy backgrounds and things that they do now, and like.
We're all nuts.
Yeah, like
we've all done crazy stuff.
All done crazy things, and like all still got mad dreams as well, though. Do you know what I mean? Like all still got goals and aspirations to do things, and like so have their partners and stuff like that. Like, so yeah, man, I'm just excited. Like I'm just excited for the change and
see what it evolves into.
See what it evolves into and the branding for it, and like yeah, I think it's gonna be good. As simple as.
Me too. I'm excited.
So we're saying that. Obviously, I've said multiple times in this, podcasts are expensive. Like simple as they are expensive. Like I had someone that told me about this. This summer I want to get on as well, because I want to know a little bit more about him and his background. So like, there's a podcast called Chilling with Daps. I say from Newcastle. He's not from Newcastle. He lived in so many places, like around the world. He's lived in America, he's lived in Ireland, and he's from Nigeria. And now he lives in Newcastle, and he's fully embraced and adopted like the two. But when I first started getting into this is like somebody that like, I didn't know, do you know what I mean? And like, I just started speaking to on the random, and he started giving me lots of help, lots of advice. Like he put me in with Howard from that Native Cave. Like when I was going to do podcasts with Kyle, obviously I still want to get him on, but like, I'm kind of glad that I've got this kit now and not like the other stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, because now I can step the game up on it. But he said to me something. He was like, "Oh, this podcasting thing, it's expensive," and I thought, "Why?" Do you know what I mean? Like with what I was doing, with the kit and stuff I was taking, then I've realised why. Like he wasn't wrong. Do you know what I mean? He wasn't wrong at all.
It's like burlesque. When I used to do burlesque, it is expensive. Yeah, you will not make any money, because any money you make, you put back into making your costumes even more amazing.
But I tell you what, isn't that what every great business and every great entrepreneur's ever done? Like every great artist.
It's definitely what artists do.
Well, it's the same with business owners. It's the same with entrepreneurs. Like they put the money back into their business to help their business grow. They don't take it and run off with it. Do you know what I mean? They go, well, how can I make this better? And that's what we do as individuals.
I was so poor when I did burlesque, but I had the most amazing costumes.
Yeah, didn't you just... So speaking of costumes, with this being the new branding now, and this is what it's sticking with, I'm not changing it. Simple as, she just told me she's going to divorce me, and we're not even married. But if I change it, all I'm going to do is just change this little thing. So every now and again when I change this appearance will change. Maybe I might change these things so I'll go a different town and, little Time Bridge,
But
little
basically,
whatever.
Tom About Town is the name.
But the name is Tom About Town, and it's sticking with that. I'm going to do a run of t-shirts.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, I know, you're buzzing, you. I've put a little poll out. I'll put a little thing out on Instagram. If everyone can go have a little look at it, I'm going to be sticking more and more stuff out over the next couple of weeks. That competition's running until like the end of this month, and it'll be announced on the 1st of July. Obviously, to kind of get this up and kind of going, I need the support. I need as much help as I can with it. Do you know what I mean?
And it's all free. It's just sharing, commenting,
Yeah, exactly.
engaging. It's all free. It doesn't cost you anything.
It doesn't cost you anything. Obviously, when I put these t-shirts out, it might cost you something, but I like to think it's going to a good cause because it's not all just going to me. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, the whole point of this is to big up other people and to show places and to show everything else. Like, it's not money that's going into my back pocket. Do you know what I mean? I'm not taking a wage from this. It's not something I would like to do, but at the end of the day, I'm not now. Do you know what I mean? So when they come out, it'd be nice if everyone kind of gets on buying them. But like you said, for now, it's just about if people can go out and just share like this episode, share other episodes, like tell people about it, like subscribe to our YouTube, follow me on Instagram, like do everything. Do you know what I mean? And like just help us get this out there, because at the end of the day, once again, it's not just highlighting me, it's highlighting other people.
Definitely.
And the bigger this gets, the bigger other people will get. It's a chain reaction, it's a butterfly effect. That's what these things do. Do you know what I mean? So
sharing's caring.
Sharing is caring.
And look at Butters.
Look at her.
Do it for Butters.
She'd be devastated. She wants to go to awesome places. She wants to go all around, and I've got to pay for petrol and vet bills.
And she has a special diet now, and it's quite, it's a little bit expensive.
So yeah, basically get on it, because the more likes I get, the more subscribers I get, the more this gets out there, the more chance it is of getting sponsorship, the more chance it has of getting monetization on YouTube, the more chance I have of selling t-shirts and merchandise, because at the end of the day, I love designing, I love drawing, I love doing this shit. It's all I've ever wanted to do since I was a kid. So fuck it, let's go. And yeah, thanks for listening, guys. Like, thank you for supporting so far, and supporting the journey in customer disservice, and hopefully the journey moving forward on Town About Town is going to be even better. Simple as.
Damn right.
Yeah.
It's going to be amazing.
It's going to be class. So yeah, thanks guys. And you're going to see Charlotte on, maybe sat next to me when we're doing stuff at home. Probably be a little bit more behind the scenes, a little bit more produced. I'll probably get you a little mic rigged up or whatever when we get on the road. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely. So I hope you invite me on when my business progresses and I've got more to say about.
Yeah, 100%.
About my
helping
neurospicy people.
I'll get you on as a little sponsor in here as well. So when this podcast gets bigger as well, that means she can get sponsored, which means she gets more clients, which means more people get better health. Simple as, guys. Look at it.
And then I can buy a drone for this.
Everyone. We're helping everyone. So yeah.
Cost you now.
Cost nothing. Absolutely nothing. It might do when I make a Patreon. Fuck knows. But that's in the future. So yeah. Appreciate it, guys.
Peace out.
Thanks for listening. Peace and love. Peace out.
Goodbye.
Bye. Say bye, buzz. Bye.
See you later. She's over it. She is over it.